Jesus, I don't know what to do. I'm discombobulated. I lost my glasses and can't figure out what this is even. Is it a computer? Is it a laptop? You know, I still type on a typewriter from 1946. You know, I heard about a new service that I wanted to tell you about. It's called TakeTake.com. My therapist has often subscribed to that kind of philosophy. Tells me to come 5 times a week, and all he does is take. But in this case, TakeTake.com is a new startup, you know, and it's a startup where you can talk about, you know, all your favorite products and services, and my toaster is against me again. You know, I love places where you can share information because, you know, otherwise we're in a godless universe, and what good is that, you know? I mean, everybody will be dead, you know, and then won't be able to get along with products. But right now, TakeTake.com is ready to have to take your invitation. They'll give you an invitation, I'm sorry, and they will ask you to join, and then you can start sharing information about products of all kinds, and maybe it'll just put pressure, you know, on people, designers and manufacturers to make better products. And to make anything in the United States would be a, you know, like a complete miracle at this point. So try TakeTake.com, and in the meantime, I'll try to figure out where to go on the computer.
In his State of the Union address this week, President Obama promised to make jobs top priority. So to make sure you're ready to assume all those new positions, you can either make a boring, stupid paper resume, or you can join the cutting edge of the late 20th century and make a video resume. Employers just get to see so much more of your personality in a video resume. Just make sure it's an appealing personality.
I believe success breeds confidence, and confidence breeds success. I've built systems that have saved my clients millions of dollars. The question is, what can I do for you?
My other qualifications include a lifetime of making people ill at ease. Let me clarify something. A video resume should not just be a video of you reading your resume like it is to this aspiring crane operator.
I'm trained and experienced on CAT 315 excavator, a CAT 414E skip loader grader.
On the plus side, his choice of outfit communicates one thing. Bonus, I have tons of hard hats. I just wore this one because it makes me look most like a Lego man. This guy gets it right. He's dressed up, he looks sharp, he's in an office. He's not reading, but communicating his experience.
Hi, I'm Josh Barker with Remax Town & Country. I'm also the representative for the Josh Barker sales team.
I'm also the lead resident of the Josh Barker residence and the main driver of the Josh Barker Hyundai Sonata. Something else you can do is actually demonstrate your job skills. So hire Tracy. She'll wait for only 2 rings before answering the fax machine in perfect broken English.
Hello, this is Tracy Liu. Tracy is born to be employed.
This woman does something smart and promises results.
Tracy is a lifetime experienced salesperson. If you hire me, you will get this and this.
Hire Tracy. She'll deliver the men's room guy in front of a chart and a table full of Australian hundreds. You hired. There's a lot to learn from this polite gentleman.
My objective is to obtain a position as an adult-level English teacher in a friendly and supportive...
What does he keep looking at? He didn't do that while I was Skyping him, did he? Look over here! Look over here! Look down! Look down at this! Does this look swollen? Does this look swollen to you? Well, I hope that helps you land your dream job. If you want to upload your own video resume, go to this website. And thanks to a lot like...
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Los Angeles. Welcome to This Week in Comedy. I'm your host, Ed Krasnick. And it's a very exciting time, a very exciting show tonight. We have for you the host of a great satirical news program, I think Thursday nights at 11. You can see it on Current TV. His name is Brett Erlich, very talented young man. Also, we're going to talk to him about his background as a Shakespearean actor. So that should be pretty interesting. And also Julie Mitchell and the Julie Mitchell Effect makes a return to the show. We're excited to see Julie. I'm sure she's got something very interesting for us. And I don't know why I'm exaggerating my words in this manner, but this is the rhythm of a comedian. I'm here really to talk thematically because we have somebody who hosts, who's an anchor for a news program, about the news. Basically, what has happened to the news and where it came from and how we can't fix it. Tonight, I'm going to talk about the fact that in my life, we had John F. Kennedy, we landed on the moon, we had Dr. King, we had Bobby Kennedy, and we had the Beatles, all by the time I was 10. There were a lot of things going on in the news, and at that time, entertainment was not news, and news was not entertainment. What happened is the news divisions had to start showing a profit. And before that, they hadn't had to show that, so they could just deliver news stories and information. And I can remember Walter Cronkite being a little kid watching a soap opera, I was 3, 4 years old, I can remember As the World Turns, or as I call it now, my program, and watching it with my mom, and I can remember the story about JFK, and I remember Walter Cronkite talking to the world and how everyone watched and listened, and he basically was just a human being who happened to be very interested in the news and reporting and came through journalism in that manner. The reason why I bring up the Kennedy assassination is because I dated 2 women who had very interesting takes on the Kennedy assassination that I've never heard before. One of the women had a grandmother, and the grandmother's take was that Jackie set the whole thing up because she was upset with her husband that she manufactured the whole campaign and the whole assassination. So that's a very fresh take. I've never heard that, the jilted wife theory, not presented to the Warren Commission. And then the other one that I loved, it was someone that I had dated, their mom. Their mom was going to the bathroom at the time that the assassination happened, and she had the forethought to actually think, oh my God, I'm going to the bathroom, and if people ask me where I was, I don't want to tell them that I was on the toilet. So she immediately jettisoned herself from the pot. That to me is genius level thinking. That's a stage 7. That's a DEFCON 8. So that is kind of interesting to me about the Kennedy assassination. And I'll tell you, the other thing is the movie Network. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have. Patty Chayefsky wrote this movie Network. I think it came out in like 74 or 75. And it was really about the way television is today. It had reality overtones, reality TV, and game, and it made the news into entertainment. And I remember watching it in the theater, and everybody was laughing their heads off because they could not conceive of a world where that kind of programming would happen to television at that time. And if you watched it today, it would look like a documentary. It really would. The thing is, you know, I recently had to, the reason why I'm bringing all of this up about news is I had to write a sample for a show, a talk show, and I had to go through all the websites, all of the entertainment news websites. And of course, you want to throw up. I had to go through TMZ and the delisted and all of these kinds of sites, and you see stories that have the same weight as what's going on in Egypt. You see that Puff Daddy is going to be sued for $1 zillion, which is kind of a funny story, but it carries the same weight as what's going on in Egypt, what's going on in Afghanistan and around the world. So I had to write some of these jokes, and I thought I would just read a couple of the things that I came up with. This is what you have to do. You comb through and you try to relate to what's going on. The first thing is the Oscars, of course, the Academy Awards coming up, 83rd annual. And there's going to be many, many spray tans. And due to the many spray tans, it's one of the few nights that you can actually see people that are brown with envy. Brown with envy. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go to this one. This is called, let's see, the State of the Union, of course, happened. And there was a special poll, of course, and the new poll cited that President Obama's State of the Union address getting strong support. 48% of Americans approved, while 52% prefer the King's speech. Prefer the King's speech. And finally, this is one of my favorite ones, Lady Gaga's one-finger salute. About a year ago, Lady Gaga caused a stir when she gave the New York Mets the finger. when sitting in Jerry Seinfeld's box, a one-finger salute to all the fans of the Mets game. In a bold PR move, the Mets plan to invite Gaga back for opening day to throw out the First Amendment. To throw out the First Amendment. All right, that's my, you know, I have a lot of, I'll be reading some more as the show goes on. But right now, it is my sincere pleasure to welcome back a lady who needs no introduction, a lady who has a certain kind of effect on people, an actress, a singer-songwriter, a ballerina, a cake maker, and someone who guest starred on House not 2 weeks ago. Please welcome Julie Mitchell and the Julie Mitchell Effect.
Hi, Ed.
How are you?
I'm really good. I'm pretty much famous.
You are famous now. You were famous before, too.
Yeah, a friend of mine texted me on my way here, and he said there's something called a star meter on IMDb. And
I'm sorry, what's that site?
on IMDb, there's a something called a star meter.
Yeah.
And he said that mine is 3,000 something. I don't know what it means, but he says it's good.
Wow, 3,000 is very high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't 3,000. It was higher. It was like 3,500. I didn't memorize it because I don't know, but I'm still excited.
You should be excited. You got a lot going on. Did you
Yeah.
get a lot of positive feedback from your appearance on House?
I did. It was fun because all my friends in Texas and people I went to elementary school with, and they were like, "I saw you on my television." I said, "Yeah, heck yeah, you did."
It sounds like a nice exchange, like you had a real connection with those people from the past.
I did. Nobody out here cares because half my friends have been on House, but back home a lot of people cared. So I should probably move back while I'm hot.
I understand that philosophy. That really is really true. Well, it was great. You did a great job on the show.
Thanks,
It was very
Ed.
exciting to see you on the show.
Thank you.
I have not been on House. I have been on this old house. I was actually buried under this old house. So.
Oh, ouch.
No, I'm up now.
Okay.
So now what's going on in your world? What's going on? Now you brought props today, which I've never seen before. You don't usually bring props.
Well, I made something called a dream board for February, because that's the month that starts on Tuesday. And dream board's this thing where you cut out things from magazines, and it's like the goals that you want to accomplish.
Sure.
So for February, I wanted to get a rainbow, and I wanted to make my husband look like a gladiator, and I wanted to make everybody happy and do that pose, that yoga pose upside down.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to eat some au gratin potatoes and be crowd pleasing, or be crowd pleasing beef supper.
You could do that too. You blended them.
But then it just got really hard, Ed, because that's a lot of hard stuff. It's hard to be a rainbow, and I can't make my husband look like that overnight. And then I thought, it's hard to be clear what you want, but I know for sure what I don't want. So I really turned my dream board into a don't board.
You know, that's also an interesting idea. You can get what you want by deciding what to let go of.
What you don't want.
What you don't want.
So definitely don't want to be in a porn.
Oh, is that a porn? That looks like a bra ad.
It was a Victoria's Secret bra ad.
Right, it is porn.
That bra's $28.50, and I sure don't want to do porn for $28.50.
You and, well, a lot of people, maybe a lot of people, maybe not. But yeah, now, so this basically is what you do not want.
Yeah, it's what I do not want.
Okay.
I do not want to be in a porn.
Okay.
Those are horses, but I'm going to pretend that they're donkeys and say I do not want to be a jackass. That girl's possessed. I don't want to be possessed.
She's literally flying through the air.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
There's some people in prison. I don't want to be in prison.
Right.
Actually, Mary Tyler Moore and Betty White. I would like to be them, but not even if it meant I went to prison.
Are they actually in prison there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they are.
It's from a show.
Oh, okay.
That woman's dressed like a panda. I don't want to work at an amusement park again. That's a bridge I drew fire on because I don't want to burn bridges.
I love that.
That's two people holding on to each other, and I do not want to be clingy. That's a woman who lost 160 pounds. I do not want to find her 160 pounds.
Okay.
That's a fire. I don't want to get fired, Ed.
Oh, I love it. I love how you've taken these, you've done something that's really helpful, which is you've taken images out of yourself, and now you can focus on that vision of what you don't want,
I can bring to fruition what I don't want. And that's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to not go to jail than to do a yoga pose.
You know, I suppose you're probably right about that.
Yeah.
And I think that this man is probably angry about not getting something that he did want. If he had used your philosophy, he wouldn't have had this,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't have had that.
Yeah, but he has nice abs.
Well, listen, that's because he works really hard. You know, you don't want to work that. No one wants to work that
Nobody
hard.
wants to work that hard.
So what are you doing now, Frank? Working on my abs. How about now? Working on my abs.
Still going.
Yep.
Still working.
What are you doing to sleep? Working on my. Now that's a great idea, and it's something. You know, I did an image map. I guess they call them different things, but it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And mine had Oprah and a house in Connecticut, and Oprah I think was in the house, and she was like doing this. She was like waving at me. And then I'm a little boy in the thing, and
Okay.
I have a picnic basket.
So you want Oprah to be your mom?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good goal, Ed. Good luck with that.
This is great. Now,
Thanks.
Julie, good luck with all the things that you don't want, getting all the things that you don't
I'll
want.
let you know if I don't get them.
And you know what? I have a feeling you're going to get the things that you do want.
Oh, thanks. Once I figure out what those are.
I can help you with that because I have a very strong vision for you. It involves Oprah and a house in Connecticut.
Okay. Okay, Ed. I guess your vision for me is better than none at all.
Julie Mitchell, everybody, the Julie Mitchell Effect. And we will check in with you next week, and thank you so much for putting that together. I love props. I love visual aids.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Julie Mitchell, everybody. And right now, our guest tonight, our special guest is Brett Erlich, who is the anchor of a show called Infomania, which you can see Thursday nights at 11 on Current TV. Right now, let's take a look at one of Brett's clips, one of his videos, and then we're going to be joined by Brett Erlich.
All right, so Saw 3D comes out this weekend. It's the 7th movie in the Saw franchise, and it's a surprisingly complicated franchise, right, Fox?
Yeah, so to ensure that you are up to speed, we wrote a little song about the most important plot points, specifically how everybody is brutally murdered.
Are you ready for a song?
People get impaled, burned, shot with a gun, shot with a slightly smaller gun, beaten with a toilet seat, then left to rot for eternity. That's Saw 1.
Killed by a helmet made of spikes, shot, burned, killed in a fight, box of razors, hacksaw blade, then left to rot for eternity. That's Saw 2.
You want to do the rest of them?
Yeah!
Chain, bled, froze, shot, maimed, trapped, choked, shot.
Shot, sawed, shot, beaten, dismembered, stabbed, beaten.
Shot, cut, bombed, stabbed, crushed, swished, speared.
Shotgun carousel, shotgun carousel, shotgun carousel,
Shotgun carousel.
Shot, shot,
And
shot.
set on fire.
And just when the death toll couldn't get higher.
And there were no more ways to make you cringe.
This guy gets shot with acid via syringe.
Oh, and I need to know that. Oh, God. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to This Week in Comedy. And you've seen just a very funny video from our guest tonight, who is the anchor, the host, the glue, a gentleman who started out, I believe, at Stanford studying Shakespeare and other things. And of course, that bridges right to hosting a comedy news program on Current TV.
Right.
Say hello to Brett Erlich, everybody.
Hi.
Brett?
Thanks for having me on.
All right.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to have you. Now let's get right down to business.
Bring it. I'll sit thus.
What the hell happened? No. You're at Stanford.
Yes.
You're studying Shakespeare.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Take us through the bridge. Take us over the bridge.
There is no bridge. There's no bridge. There is a long portion of time in which I am avoiding declaring my major.
Right.
And I'm studying all different kinds of stuff.
Right.
And I had an RA who's like, you want to start the Shakespeare Society? I'm like, sure, that sounds fun. He's the best, right? We should do that. And so I did that, and then I graduated from college and came down to home, Los Angeles, this area. From the Valley, it's close enough.
Okay.
And then I'm just, I was going to take a job at this thing called Shakespeare by the Sea.
Holy cow.
And, you know, that voice of reason was like, don't do that. You're not going to make any money.
Yeah.
And so I ended up not even going to Current TV directly. I worked at a talent agency in Los Angeles, which is one of the worst experiences a human being can have, and the best. You learn a lot. But in the meantime, there are men with highlighters, and they're throwing them at you.
Yeah, there's like it's like an Olympic. It's like the X Games.
Yes.
Only they're Xing you.
Yeah, they're getting rid of your self-esteem.
Yeah. You remember Swimming with Sharks? You ever
Yes.
see that movie?
Saw that.
So you were living that movie.
I was living that movie.
Did you have I mean, did you really work with a guy, or were you surrounded by people who literally are doing things, yelling, physical, crazy, browbeating, all that stuff?
Yes, there was around the outside, and it's great, and these people are probably very proud of it, but like around the outside are all the agent offices.
Right.
And in the inside are all the horrified, you know, red-faced from crying assistants in this bay in the middle. And then there's like two guys that come out and they have golf clubs and they have like foam balls. And they put the foam balls down and they rear back and they just swing as hard as they can into the bay of recent Ivy League graduates who are just like, they have to go to like a party this weekend with their friend, the iBanker. This is 06. iBanking is like huge, fantastic. This is where you want to be, or 05. And then, you know, what happened to you today? Well, my boss called me on the phone, shut the door so no one could hear, and then talked to me on the phone as he's looking at me, telling me how stupid I am and how worthless I am as I slowly disintegrated from the inside.
Wow.
But you learn a lot about the industry. And if you don't commit suicide, you end up hosting a minor league cable show.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great coming-of-age story.
It was.
It really is. You know, and didn't you do? But you also did Rotten Tomatoes, right?
Yes. So I came on at Current.
Yeah.
And I was terrified. I was a bad writer. So that clip that you played at the beginning.
Yeah.
I wanted to write a line at a time. There's no audience around. I'd never had that before. So I wanted to be the audience, do it, hear it, record another line, build. And so I did that, and it was just, they kept me around as like started to be on camera. And then I was on camera for Infomania.
Sure.
And then we got this deal with Rotten Tomatoes to do movie reviews, and they're like, is your schedule terribly busy? I'm like, no, you know I do one segment a week. And then I started hosting Rotten Tomatoes, which was great.
It's a great site. I mean, it's really, like, if you ever want to know anything about anything, a review, you go to Rotten Tomatoes.
It's
right?
the best.
Yeah.
And it takes 1 second to just find out if something's good. You just look at the number.
Yeah.
And the people over there are so nice and friendly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Different than the agencies.
Yes.
Yeah.
The opposite.
Who actually are Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, now, in terms of Infomania, what goes on at Infomania? Because it's a comic. How would you do? Is it a comedy news show? Is it a satirical look at the news? What is it?
We've been going through some changes. I'm recently becoming like the main host of that show, and what it does is our old slogan was chewing up the week's media and regurgitating it half digested into your mouth.
What a great tagline.
You know, which sounds appealing.
It does. It's powerful, and the effect of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People picture baby birds and vomit.
Feed me and spit into my mouth.
Yeah.
Throw up in my mouth.
Throw up in my
once
mouth.
a week.
Yeah.
And let me enjoy that.
So, yeah, and what we do is that literally on camera every week. No. We just look at what's happening in the week.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of different cast members who have different beats.
Right.
We've got a guy who hosts a segment called That's Gay. That's his beat.
Mm-hmm.
We got Modern Lady, Erin Gibson.
Saw her, yeah.
She does lady things. That's her beat.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Hoffman is kind of the tech report guy and resident curmudgeon.
Very funny guy.
He is hilarious.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that, like, you laugh at the setup.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a super funny guy. And then, and Sergio Chili does music. And so we take what's happening and we go, this would be good for you. Or do you have an idea on that? We're like, yeah, I got an idea.
Right.
And then we have a bunch of different segments. and people come on. We have a new set.
Love it.
And yeah, people come and we sit and do comedy bits.
And let me ask you a question. Do you like you're watching and you have to go through these news stories, and a lot of them are going to be either horrific in some way or something that makes you sick in other ways or something that's hysterically funny.
Yes.
Do you like go through news stories and then like think, I can do something really funny with this, but it kind of does make me sick?
Usually it's what makes us laugh the most is what we're least allowed to do.
Right.
So Hoffman will sit and tell a joke and we'll just be like, there's no way that's going in.
Can't
I'm
do it.
writing that down.
Can't do it.
But yeah, so, and usually if people die,
Yeah.
we don't do that. That's like a rule.
Yeah.
But one thing that I saw, usually people email stories to like the Facebook, through my Facebook or Twitter, or they'll email them to the show, which we encourage people to do.
Sure.
It's like infomania@current.com.
Right.
And then like someone emailed, there was a woman who went to a convenience store in Idaho, and she tried some free Greek yogurt, and she said, this tastes not like yogurt at all, but like a bodily fluid.
Okay.
And it wasn't tears. And she asked that this man who gave it to her be arrested.
Okay.
And then we go, that's funny. And we saw it, the story was a local news show. So it's always funny to see what's happening. We have a segment called Adorable Local News.
Sure.
And then we have to come up with jokes out of it. I want to tell you a joke.
Okay.
The woman asked the man be arrested, and then he said, oh, come on, though. I'm part Greek. That's just how we make yogurt. And she should have known better anyway by the sign next to the yogurt that said, if you want seconds, you're going to have to give me a few minutes. That was it. I really got that one out.
See?
And we do that.
And that's what you do.
And I email him to David Nickel, who runs the show, and he goes, and the middle one's, I always pitch another one that's just about poo-poo. And he says, the ones not about poo-poo are good. I'll use those.
The one's not about poo-poo.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have a writer's room.
Okay, take us through give us the day. What are we doing?
Well, we come in.
Yeah.
There's Pete McIntaggart, who has lived many lives.
Well, right there, you don't really have to do much with a name like that.
Yeah, and we call him McGeggart. No one is, I'm the only one who says his name right.
Oh my God.
He used to work at Sports Illustrated and in investment banking, and he's like Uncle Pete, and his job is to be like, okay, you're watching this show. So we go through crappy reality shows and, the Golden Globes last week. And,
Sure.
Oprah's channel, always something good there. And we try to pick the most relevant stuff and bring in clips to a meeting later in the day.
Sure.
And then everyone pitches, you say what you think right after, and then go away, pitch jokes. They're compiled into a list, and everyone gets in on it. Interns even do it.
It's great.
It's
and at Current TV, I mean, is there a certain like a focus or an agenda? Is there something that you can do things on Current that you couldn't do on other networks, but you can't do things on Current that you could do on other networks?
We can't really cuss. We can bleep it, but
Yeah.
we're not like that hip, cool subscription. Oh, for $9 a month, I'm gonna hear F-bombs.
Sure, sure.
So I'm conditioned
Can't do
not to
that.
say them.
Right. As soon as you get off the air,
I'm just
F-bomb village. You
yeah.
can say it here.
Really?
Yeah. You can say whatever the fuck you want.
Oh God.
But see, I don't curse. My act, I just didn't do it. But not because I'm like, religious or holy or anything. It just didn't feel, it wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if Richard Pryor,
Yeah.
if he's not doing that, that's not going to be him because that's how he talks.
Yeah.
So you're not that kind of guy. You don't go
think
home
so.
and like, what the hell?
I say it. I only say it when there's someone that's going to laugh if I say it.
Right.
Like if I know this person is not expecting it,
Right.
or if I say something sweet with an F-bomb in it, like, you look so fucking good today. Like,
Yeah. Spice it up.
Spice it up. And then,
Give it a little
but I
salt.
won't.
No.
I won't jam it home with an F-bomb.
You're not that kind of guy.
I don't think I am.
You don't need that crap in your life.
Yes. No, I don't.
You're a man with a vision.
I eschew it.
You eschew it.
I eschew it.
You're a man. You're a man.
Yes.
You're a man who said no to Shakespeare by the Sea.
Yes.
You don't need it.
Mm-mm.
A lot of people need it.
I need it, though.
You do
I need that.
Yeah.
in the shower.
Yeah.
Which is, I'll be fully clothed in the shower.
Okay, sir.
And I'll just find myself saying a sonnet.
Yeah.
And that's so great.
It's great that you can do that and then not have to rely on that to make your living.
Yes, exactly.
So few shower sonnet sayers are making the kind of money that they deserve.
No, just 6 or 7, really.
In the world.
In the world.
Yeah. But now, okay, so at Infomania, so we're doing this at Infomania. Ever met Al Gore?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about that.
The first time I met Al Gore, I was nervous. Most of my first interactions with people are really bad.
Yeah.
This was like, I was champ at it. Like, I was a writer's assistant once for these people, and I knew who they were on the show, and I asked them questions like, so what do you do on the show? Because I didn't want to seem like the jerk. But with Al, I was like, I'm going to get this right. We were at a company party, because he's the president of the Current TV, the place I've worked for 4 years. So I go up to him at this party. It's loud, and I say, thank you for the, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say, thank you for the opportunity, Miss Vice President Gore.
He is at a salad bar. What is he doing?
He is coming downstairs, and he has just come down upstairs, and he's like doing that thing where you come to a new level and you look around, and you're the former vice president, so you're just surveying the room. And everyone kind of turns around, and I'm like, this is my time. And I'd had a few drinks. I do that. I'm that kind of guy. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to say this. Mr. Gore, thanks for the opportunity. And somewhere between opportunity, my nose grazes his ear.
Grazes his ear?
Grazes his ear. And I stop, nod, walk away. And then...
How does your nose graze his ear?
It was loud, and like, you know.
Oh, you went in?
I went in. I was like,
okay.
Hey, thank you for the opportunity. You know, because it was a loud dance floor.
Sure.
Thanks for the opportunity, Mr. Gore. And one of the services, I'm pretty sure it was my nose was wet, like gently, like a little, and it was just not right. It's not right to do that.
No, it's not right to do that to a former vice president.
No.
No.
Or
At any point.
Current vice president, go up to him. Biden.
Biden is okay.
Biden just be like, get in here.
Yeah, he'd bring it in.
Yeah.
Bring it in.
Big
This kid's
smile.
fucking great. I mean, he would do that on the mic, right?
He would.
But this guy is not something. This is and you probably had a load of inconvenient truth jokes lined up.
Yeah.
Machine gun.
I'm just like, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Because he's in the process of saving the world. This was right when he did the movie. That's when I first started.
Sure.
And he was just, this is the guy.
Yeah.
And I just touched this guy's ear with my nose.
And since then?
Since then, I've seen him a couple times. I saw him in New York once. He had this like event, and he said that he plugged Viral Video Film School, which was great.
Fantastic.
At a speaking thing. He said it out loud, and he's super nice. He's always been super nice, and he sometimes he normally visits the San Francisco office, and we'll have like a pep talk. And afterwards, after the pep talk, you're just raring to go.
Yeah.
He just has that speaking thing that he's really good at.
Good sense of humor?
Yes.
Good sense of humor?
Good sense of humor.
Can laugh at himself?
Yes.
Okay.
He's good. And then he's like, you guys are doing great, and let's go take him down. He does that thing. He goes,
let's go take him down.
Take him down.
Wow.
You know, his old catchphrase.
Let's go take him down. Sure.
But he does that.
You know, I hear that, and then I think, why didn't he do that more in the campaign? I wish that there would have been more take him down.
On that.
No, I know. Believe me, there's been a tidal wave that has happened since that time.
One of the best things I've ever seen is in the documentary The War Room, which is about that campaign, is one of the speeches that Al Gore gives, where he's like, interest rates are up, employment's down. This is up, that's down. They got it upside down, we're going to turn it right side up. And everyone just goes nuts.
Okay.
And so he taps into that.
He does tap into that.
Corporate
and
events.
he really believes it.
Yeah, he does. He really does believe it, which is great.
Wow. I just remember, I cannot tell you, I remember like it was yesterday, listening to the radio the night of the elections, of the Gore-Bush election. And I remember the radio playing they would start playing the Tennessee Waltz. And then you thought, hey, okay, everything's great. And then like a half hour later, they're playing you know, the Yellow Rose of Texas.
And the rule is they have to play that song backwards before they start Yellow Rose of Texas. So it was like Tennessee Waltz backwards because they made a mistake.
Oh, God.
Go the other way.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember being in a dorm room watching it and being like, or in the lounge, and everyone was like, "Oh, Gore won," and then they're like, "Ha ha ha."
It is kind of amazing that election reform is like the last thing that they really haven't been able to look at that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's so because there's like you know, there's a mythology about our country that it is so awesome, and this is one of the things about it that theoretically makes it awesome: our ability to transfer power peacefully.
Okay.
Now, what if someone said, you know that thing you've been doing pretty well? It's bunkum. We're fixing it. We're changing it now. You're not adding something. You can add healthcare. You know, that's hard enough. But if you're going like, you know that thing, we know it's ridiculous. The Electoral College is ridiculous.
Yes.
It's so stupid. Who came up with that?
It's stupid. It's antiquated.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. The system doesn't work. It doesn't work. I mean, your people's it's not one person, one vote, and it doesn't count that way anymore. So it's like the whole country is built on that, and now you're going to tell me that, you know, that we're not going to look at that. We're not going to fix that. We can't fix that.
It's just so much more convenient to like go around and win states. They want to win states.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a lot cooler to see that map turn red and blue state by state as opposed to like various shades of purple.
That's right.
All at once. That's what they could do.
That's right.
Oh, is it a fuchsia?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, people don't understand. They think that people won't understand it unless it's one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
Yeah.
Unless it's and look at USA Today. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying look at the color coding. It's like look over here. You know.
What was it? There's an Onion article that said
so great.
That said they're finally making a version of Time magazines for adults. Because it's too many like it's all too many pictograms and stuff.
Can you cross the line? Because I'm the hugest fan of The Onion, and I was reading one day, and it was an article about Elie Wiesel had written a book, and now he was critiquing his own book about the Holocaust, but he critiques it because he thinks it's poor writing now. Now when he looks back on it, it's like, this was just horrible writing.
Right.
And it's really funny. And I looked at it and I was like, I don't know. But I love it. I love that they go for it, but it's just like...
Yeah. I mean, it's
funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny and you laugh at it and then it's there so that you like have a reaction. That was a real reaction. Can't deny it.
Beautiful.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait a minute.
Amazing.
My bad.
Well, now, okay, so I want to talk about a few more things with you about your background and about what you're doing, about what might be coming up that we can look at on Infomania. But I want to show this clip that's, you know, I'm a big fan of the beginnings of TV, where TV was live. I mean, it was meant to be live. Come right into your living room, and you had evidence of mistakes and human beings, and they were like you, and it was performing, but it wasn't technology. It was just coming through the camera. So let's take a look at a sketch from the show called Mr. TV.
Mr. TV.
So let's take a look at Mr. Very funny. Do you have anything to set it up?
This was cut from the show because we didn't have time.
Okay.
We're doing another one coming up about Jersey Shore. But Mr. TV, I don't know how we describe it. Mr. TV, on our set, there's an old television, and I don't know if we say what it is, but we bought this TV at an old garage sale, and suddenly it'll just turn on and transmit a signal from a guy from the golden age of television. And we ask him questions about TV today.
This is great. And I want to mention one other thing is that I happen to know Dave Nickel.
Yes.
And he called me before the show, and he wants you to call him.
Oh, really?
So I thought it sounded a little bit urgent, not crazy, but maybe we can use this phone. You can call him here.
Oh my
Let's
gosh.
show Mr. TD, and when we come back,
okay,
maybe we can talk to Dave too.
Yeah.
All right, but you got to check in with him.
Okay.
Okay. Check out Mr. TV right now.
Thanks, Ben. I'm totally not regretting buying these from you for $25. You know, before we go, I just wanted to take a little time and say something more about American Idol.
Hello there. Good evening.
Oh my God,
Good
it's
evening.
Mr. TV. This is our friend Mr. TV from the golden age of television. Nice to see you, man.
It is great to see you. My compliments to your novelty ears.
Oh, these are Minnie Mouse ears.
I know who she is.
I got them on Craigslist.
I don't know who he is.
So, we were just talking about the biggest show on television, American Idol.
Is that a program about teen sensation Troy Donahue?
No, it's actually a talent competition show where we find America's best undiscovered singing talent.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. Let me show you a clip.
Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me.
That was funny.
Isn't that awesome?
No. I'm sorry, I thought that was a talent competition. That person wasn't talented, and they seemed a little slow.
Well, actually, no, they eventually get to the talented people, but in the early episodes, they just bring on borderline mentally incapacitated people and let them sing horribly off key for our own amusement. It's pretty funny, because they think they can, but they can't.
Sounds cruel.
No, it's not cruel. It's a lot less cruel than it's been in previous seasons. I mean, they got a lot more supportive judges this time. Take a look.
We're so real, that's what we mean. Yeah.
So many people see it as a negative thing.
No.
Over the top real with positiveness.
Those dames are knockouts, especially the one with the big lips. I'd like to take her out for a milkshake and try and hold her hand.
Sorry about that. That's Steven Tyler. That's a man.
That fella looks like a lady.
That's funny. That's an Aerosmith. Never mind.
So you're telling me in the future that men dress up as ladies and exploit delusional people that try to become the next Troy Donahue?
Well, when you put it like that...
Are there flying cars?
They're everywhere.
All right.
I know.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. That was hysterical. That was Mr. TV, and television has changed a lot since the beginning, and I hope we can go back to the beginning because we have to erase a lot of the crap that's been done. But right now, my guest is Brett Erlich from Infomania, and along with us is, on the telephone, I believe we have his boss, Dave Nickel, and we have, Dave, I believe you're at your compound?
I'm at my compound reading Fancy Nancy books and trying to get my other kid to go to bed.
Oh my God, this is probably not a great time to do this.
No, it's I always have time for Brett and Ed.
Thank you very much.
So,
now, Dave, I'm sorry. I told Brett that we had spoken earlier and that there's some kind of breaking news thing. We talked about how Infomania works. And of course, I think when you're an anchor, you're always on call. I guess that Brett didn't tell you that he would be coming here.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, usually when there's a huge story, we will come in on a Sunday night. So I'm sure you guys have been watching, CNN all weekend. There's a huge story breaking.
Yeah. It's Egypt. Egypt is, there's a huge revolt in Egypt right now.
Oh, there is? Oh, no. I was talking about there's this, someone's going to sue Puff Daddy.
Someone's going to sue?
For like, I think $1 trillion.
Really? So is it...
Yeah, it's like breaking on Gawker and all the big websites. So we're going to have to, we should probably get in now, to get ready for the show.
Yeah. Oh, I understand that's a huge story, but this is the big time here. Like,
well, I don't understand what are you doing?
Ed,
Where are
Ed. Ed and you guys go way back. I just don't. If I leave, he looks like the kind that might cry.
I just want to remind everybody that I'm sitting right here.
Ed, I'm sorry about that. I didn't realize you were still alive. The last time I saw you was at the Friars Club, and I figured everyone who was a member had died.
You know what? You're right. In some sense, we have died. I believe our spirit has died, if nothing else. Everyone was dead in that room when you were there, by the way. Milton Berle was embalmed and then came back out of bitterness. But the thing is, you guys are always on call. It's like you never know when news is going to break.
Yeah, huge, awesome stories like Puff Daddy being sued
for like $1 zillion.
And I want to cover the hard stuff. I want to cover, I want to cover Egypt. I want to cover Tunisia.
Right.
And then Dave calls me with these big breaking stories about Puff Daddy.
Well, the people have a right to know.
But people do have a right to know. Yeah, I think the woman also said that Puff Daddy You got to read the rest of the story. The woman she's accusing him of being the mother of his illegitimate children. Setting up 9/11 is what she says.
Right. It starts with 9/11.
Yeah.
And then it builds from there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the kind of story that people turn to Infomania to cover.
Right.
Because no one else is going to cover that story with as much sarcasm and insincerity as Infomania.
Right. And I just really care about the people.
And that's where Brett's journalism degree comes in handy. Brett, you were a journalism major, right?
No. I was a poli-sci major. I declared a week before the deadline.
I think this is probably something for you. Maybe you guys figure this out at your next board meeting.
Yeah, we should probably talk to HR because I thought maybe I misread your resume, but yeah, we should look into that because I mean, Current TV is a very serious channel, and if you don't have the credentials,
that's true. That's true. Well, I already told them about the serious meeting I had with Al Gore and his ear, so.
Mm-hmm. It was an inconvenient brush at that point. Well, I got to tell you, I appreciate it. I'm grateful to have Brett here. Thank you for sharing him with me, Dave. It's very nice. I know you probably have to go somewhere, but I will tell you that this show, we're doing a show called This Week in Comedy, and it is the #1, well, it was the #1 podcast in South Africa.
Really?
It really was.
My God.
So,
that's great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So maybe, you know, you do this, the people there see it, and then you go over and you do the show from South Africa.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
That would be great because we get a lot of offers to do the show in other places, most of them not on television.
I thought it was always more popular than The Sleeping Wildebeest, but I get apparently...
No. This show is a sleeping wildebeest, and I'm going to tell you something right now. There's going to be blood. No, I really appreciate you sharing him with us, and we're going to, as soon as this is over, our interview, you're going where?
Downtown to...
Downtown, yeah. And Ed, I just want to thank you because we appreciate all the support we can get over at Infomania. We're just a little shack of television writers and producers, and we're always doing our best to get out there. So we appreciate the support.
Well,
and
I
and
love
you're a
the
very
show.
funny guy, so we're excited to see the final this show.
Oh, thanks a lot, Dave. Well, it's very funny, and I wish you all the success with it. You got some great people, and it's very smart. So right away, you're at the top, at the 1% of the 100%. It's very smart. So if you land on it, or if you go to Current TV on Thursday night at 11, you're going to have a good time. I mean, it's great. It's very funny. So thank you very much, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'm going to get back to Fancy Nancy. We have a couple pages left.
Okay. Cool. I love Fancy Nancy, by the way. And next time we're going to have the cast on. We'll have you come on, and we'll read Fancy Nancy on the show.
It's fantastic.
That
we'll
would
bring
be
the kids.
All right. Thanks a lot, Dave.
All right, guys. Take care.
Dave Nickel, everybody. Okay. So that went well, I thought, except I think that you might be in some trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I have responsibilities to the integrity of the network, but luckily there's people like Dave around to make sure I never accomplish that goal.
Now, next time you meet Al Gore, let's rehearse it. All right? I'm Al Gore.
Okay.
I don't do a great Al Gore. I guess it's nice to meet you then.
That's it. That's exactly
it's sort of. Now, Al Gore and John Bradshaw, very close, years ago. Al Gore and John Bradshaw. So very, very nice to meet you. I'm very pleased that you're working here. I remember you sticking your nose in my ear.
Yeah, I don't. I was so wasted at the company party. I was just blacked out.
Yeah.
I peed.
Yeah.
All over the yacht that we were on.
Yeah. Well, next time we're going to grab it, we're going to get them, and we're going to take it home.
You see?
Woo!
Awesome.
It's sort of like that. And so next time you won't lean in.
Yeah. I'll just go. Well,
maybe
I'll do this.
Do this.
Just hand on his knee.
Yeah. Use it for leverage.
Yeah. Just maybe I'll creep up, and that way he won't remember the ear thing if I creep up the leg.
Boy, how nice would that be to really affect a man?
Yeah.
Like that.
Of that stature.
Of that ilk.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. So we'll do that. Now, who do you want to meet? That
who do
you've
I
never
want
met?
to meet?
Let's say you're going to go in a store. Who are we going to meet?
I was at Sundance recently. I want to meet Lake Bell. That's it. She's just a really funny girl on Children's Hospital. She did.
Okay.
She's really funny. Generally in the world, I'd like to meet Steve Martin. He's one of my #1 comedy influences.
Really?
Love him.
And growing up in L.A.
Yeah.
You're listening to, you're watching.
I'm just watching all his, you know, we had Comedy Central until I was in 7th grade, and that would play, and then I moved to Simi Valley, which is where the Reagans come from.
Oh, boy.
And the Rodney King trial, and, like, we got a Togo's when I was, like, in 11th grade, which is, like, not even a Subway or, like, a Quiznos. It's, like, the bland Subway shop. Like, that was a highlight for us.
Is Togo's to go?
I don't know. It's got to be, right?
Right, it's to go.
To go.
But instead of calling it to go, Togo's, like it's a country or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like the other, they have another version called Driva Through.
Oh yeah. I'm just going to think about it.
It'll sit.
Good.
But yeah, so I moved there. But Comedy Central used to play reruns of old Saturday Night Lives over and over again. So you'd get that, like when Steve Martin would just host and just show up. I'd watch that. I'd watch The Jerk over and over again. On our set, there's a little red thermos. That's like a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
I play the banjo.
Do you play the banjo? Yeah. Fantastic.
I'm not very good at it, but I have one.
That is good. Did you read the book, Born Standing Up?
Yes, I did.
You loved that.
Recently. I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Surprises in there for you? Things you didn't know?
Yeah, surprises. He was like, when I was 28, it's like, let's do this. And I'm 28 now. So it's let's do this.
This is the year.
Yeah, that was the year.
Okay.
But he was, you know, just to be crazy. You know, my favorite was he's like, try to go as long as he could in his act without starting his act.
Right.
Kind of like, oh, before we get going here, and then just do something ridiculous.
So you weren't, yeah. And I think that I remember being a kid. I mean, I could be your great-grandfather, but I remember being a kid and going to the Boston Garden to see Steve Martin perform stand-up on his tour with the arrow through the head. And there were 17,000 people watching this guy with the arrow through his head. So it was pretty amazing, pretty powerful. And I remember him doing a thing with Gilda Radner on SNL. It's a dance number.
Yes.
But it's not comedic. It's one of the most fabulous things I've ever seen.
It was just suddenly they're in a bar, they go off to the side,
they
dance around, they're at the bar, they're looking at each other. And then they go, at the end, they go right back to what they were doing. It's that moment. So they're sitting at the bar, they see each other, and you know, in your mind, you're dancing with them, but they acted that out. Went back to it. It's fascinating.
It's a really beautiful piece. I mean, that show was so well directed at that point. And if you ever go back and you get the first season, because in college we used to sit around and it was Saturday night and nobody went out. You went to see Saturday. You watched
sketches
TV.
would go through the commercial.
Yeah.
Into the next act.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was beautiful. Now, we're gonna have to wrap here in just a minute, but what can we look for? What's coming up? What are you going to be doing?
What are we doing? The Puppy Bowl runs opposite the Super Bowl.
Okay.
We'll be interviewing puppies to see who they think is going to win.
Okay.
Because that's a counter-programming thing. That's a really highbrow idea we have. Also, what else do we have? We'll be the Craigslist interviews. Ben Hoffman does the Craigslist interviews where, you know, we all buy stuff on Craigslist, but who are we buying it from? Ben Hoffman investigates.
Fantastic.
We've got just check in. We go with what's going on in the news.
Sure.
We're going to talk about Oscars. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl. The Randy and Jason Sklar will be on the show this week.
I love them.
They're awesome.
They're friends, and they were going to come on here. We come on, and they're great, amazing. And quickly before we go, can you just a little bit about how being the host has affected your personal life?
Personal life, great.
Everything's great.
Yeah, I don't sleep as much.
Yeah.
I don't feel as much like a human. There's a lot more responsibility.
Right.
And personally, I've just got out of a relationship, so
got out of it.
Got out of one.
Right.
So there's a lot of dog custody issues
in the middle of
it. It's rough. That's what my dog says.
Yeah, I'm sorry that he's going through that.
Yeah.
Next time, when you come back, you're going to bring the cast with you.
I would love that.
And we'll have a couch. We'll have a place for people to sit. We used to have a couch. We've sort of changed formats a little bit. Maybe everybody could sit. Maybe everybody could sit on, you know, like
that'd be great.
One arm and then one arm.
Yeah, that'd be great. I just want to be near everyone.
Yeah.
This would be great. We'll just have Sergio off to the side. He's little.
We don't need, you know, just put him in the back.
Fine.
A pleasure meeting you, and I'm not going to forget the image of you touching Al Gore's ear with your nose.
Thank you.
That's not going to go away. Okay? So thank you to Brett Erlich. Thanks, Brett.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. And you'll come back on, and you got to watch Infomania on Current TV Thursday nights at 11.
Yes.
Okay? And also go to infomania.com to see...
Or current.com/infomania.
Do it again.
current.com/infomania to see clips from the show and information on how to watch it.
Fantastic. All right. Next week, we got, of course, the month of February, a big month for This Week in Comedy. Next week, Mr. Greg Proops will be here, and an old friend, and a new start time, a new live time for us, starting at 8 o'clock next Sunday, and then we'll be going to our regular time, which will begin to be 7:30. I'll see if I can make it more complicated for you as the days go by. I'm Ed Krasnick. Keep coming back. It works if you work it.